Thank you so much for joining me today. This is the first video that I have done. I wish I had known about this sooner because I have had many dreams over the years. I did not know until here recently that there was a platform here for people sharing their dreams and visions. Unfortunately, some of the dreams that I will share, I don't have the exact dates. And the reason is, back in April of last year, 2012, my home was caught on fire and we lost everything. So my dream journal was lost as well. I had been recording dreams for years, and every dream was dated. And so I would like to give a background to the dreams that I've had briefly, but there is one in particular that I really would like to share today on this particular video. Again, as a background, I would like to share that I have had dreams over the years regarding judgment on America. I didn't really put the pieces together until I really started looking at a lot of the YouTube videos of people sharing their dreams, because some of the dreams that God has given me, I have not fully understood exactly what God was trying to say, but I knew it was a dream for God. I knew it was a dream from God because in my spirit there was such an alarm when I woke up from seeing the things that He had shown me. And some of the dreams that He had revealed to me are dreams that have already come to pass. For example, I had a dream that I was looking out into the sky and I saw a flock of birds, a flock of black birds just flying in the distance. It was many of them flying together. And in the dream, it was as if my eyes became binoculars and I could zoom in. And the dream automatically had me zoom into the wings of the bird. My vision was so close that I could literally see every fiber of these wings on the birds. And the color of the wings were like a reddish color. What I didn't realize is that God had revealed to me months prior the first instance of the birds dropping dead from the sky, which started in 2010 New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. And we know that this has happened consecutively for 3 years straight, from 2010, 2011, and also 2011, 2012, and 2013. And the first instance that had took place, which was 2011 on New Year's, the black winged birds were seen appearing all over, dropping dead from the sky. I realized in that moment that God was revealing this to me. I have had dreams of seeing stars falling from the sky. I have had multiple dreams of fire and destruction, seeing fire shooting from the heavens. This would happen a lot, but I didn't understand and I couldn't make the connection what this meant. You know, at first I thought maybe this was some kind of nuclear attack, and this possibly can be what this was showing, but I also feel that it's also a representation of judgment that's coming to the earth. I have also had dreams of seeing meteorites shooting out of the heavens. I have seen a lot of things. And I wish, again, that I still had that dream journal. That's the only thing that I can say I felt a loss for. I didn't have so much of a desire for the things that I lost in the fire. The material things, that wasn't a thought, because I knew God was going to take care of me and my family. But the only thought that I had was of that dream journal, because I had been recording in it consistently and faithfully for years. But I do know that one of the things God had told me when I was watching my home on fire, He told me that the dreams that were in that journal, they were about to manifest. And I believe that. I'm believing that the manifestation of those dreams are being fulfilled very quickly. And I've been getting a lot of confirmations just by viewing some of the people on YouTube, listening to their dreams. It coincides a lot with some of the things that I've been hearing from people sharing their dreams and visions. So to get to the main dream that I do want to share in detail, I had this dream, I want to say back in 2011, maybe towards the end of 2011 going into 2012. Possibly in the beginning of 2012. But unfortunately, I just can't give you an accurate date. But the dream started out where I was outside and I could hear people talking. I could hear them just having conversations. There were people smoking cigarettes. And all of a sudden, this lion just came out of nowhere. I saw this lion, and there were these, I can't describe what it was that I saw, but it was almost like it was two beams, two poles. And in the middle of these two poles was a gap. It was just a space in between. And the lion began to jump. And I knew in the dream that if the lion jumped in the center of these two poles, then everything that we had known about the world was going to come to an end. Like, I knew that. It was a knowing that I had in my spirit. So as I'm watching this lion would jump from one side to the other. And it did this for 2 to 3 minutes. But it's like every time the lion would jump, it's almost as if the people was gasping for air, because they were afraid that the lion was going to jump in the middle, because it was almost as if they knew too that if this lion jumps in the center of these two poles, the end was at our door, that it was everything that we had known about the world was coming to an end. So I'm watching this lion jump from the other side to the next side, and it kept doing it back and forth. And then finally, when the lion jumped, sure enough, it landed right in the middle. When that happened, I looked up first. I looked up in the heavens, and it was as if the sky just rolled back. And I immediately heard lightning, and I saw this huge lightning strike. And it was so loud. It was loud to the point where every human being on the face of the earth would have heard it. That's how loud it was. It has so much power and authority. And when I saw the lightning strike, I then saw this, it was like it was this place. It just started coming out of the heavens. And I was standing in astonishment. I was just standing there looking at this like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. I can't believe this is happening. I'm literally seeing this with my own eyes. It was just so unreal. But I'm watching this place just come out. And it was so massive. This place was so massive, so huge, that it filled the whole sky. And then it went from where I saw these people coming out of this place, and they were dressed in white. And this one woman who was dressed in white, she walked over to where I was, and she said two things to me. One of the things she said to me was, "You lived long on the earth." And the second thing she said to me was, "We washed your hair." I don't quite know what that means, and if any of you have an idea of why this would be something that was spoken to me, please let me know down in the comment box. But this is what she said to me. She said, "You lived long on the earth, and we washed your hair." So I'm hearing people talking amongst themselves, and some people were like, am I going to hell? I don't know if I'm going to hell. You could hear the panic. And I begin to cry. At this point, I begin to cry, and I begin to think of my husband and my children. And I started thinking to myself, what are they going to do without me? How are they going to get here if I'm not there with them to talk to them about what it is that they need to do? Like, I had all of these thoughts going through my head, and I just started to cry uncontrollably because I was longing for them. I was concerned about them. And back in 2009, 2008, it was 2009, I apologize. Back in 2009, I had received a prophecy. And one of the things that they said to me was that more than anything, you will have me. And those words have given me so much comfort because I truly believe in those words. And I believe it was God's way of giving me comfort, knowing, for me to know that everything is going to be okay. You just continue to seek after me, and you continue to do the things that you've been doing, because more than anything, you will have me. So in this dream, as I approached this line, because the lady had told us we all need to get into this line because it was time for us to learn where we were going. It was almost as if this was the judgment time. And as I began to get closer and closer to this person, it was a guy, and he was dressed in white, and he had like this clipboard in his hand. And as you walk closer to him, and when you got next to him, he would tell you where you were going. So as I got closer and closer to for me to know where I was going, I just began to hear those words comforting me. More than anything, you will have me. And I immediately stopped crying. And once I approached this man, I remember he had like a Spanish accent, and he spoke my first and last name. And when he spoke my first and last name, he motioned for me to go to this particular exit, or this particular entrance. Sorry. There were two places that you can go, and I'm sure you both know where those two places were, but he motioned in the direction where I was to go. As I began to walk towards this woman who was standing at the entrance of this hall, this place where people were lining up inside, she smiled at me, and I knew instantly that I was going to the good place. I was going to heaven. And when I looked down, because as I walked closer to her, I got closer to the entrance where she motioned for me to go in. When I looked down, I had on all white. And as I walked closer to the entrance, I smelled this beautiful perfume fragrance. It was so beautiful. And as I began to walk in, there were people standing in line, and there was so much love. There were people letting me know, come on in. They welcomed me in the line with them. And I just felt so much love. So that was one of the dreams I had. I really do believe that was God giving me a clear indication of the fact not only is he approaching very soon, but he also gave me comfort in that dream, letting me know that everything was going to be okay and that I believe I was going back with him. It was such a awesome, powerful dream. I wish I could give you, the depths of everything that I saw and experienced, but it's so hard to do that. But I did feel such an urgency in my spirit when I had awoke from the dream, because I knew that God was showing me that it's approaching, that the time is very near. So I thank you so much for listening to this. If you don't know Christ, I urge you to please don't waste the time that you have now. His grace is still here. Please grab hold to him now while he is here. Please open your heart to him. Let go of the world. The world has nothing to offer you, but Jesus has everything.